Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. Shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today? Again, another scorchingly hot day here in the UK. As I assume they're all going to be. Hold on, boom, boom, boom. Phone unplugged. What's this? Let's see what weather is like today, and 31 degrees right now, which is a little bit crazy, seeing as it's like the afternoon. You would have thought hopefully it'd be a bit colder. Highs are 33 today. Tomorrow very cloudy for me, surprisingly. Didn't expect that, but cloudy's good because it's hot but not like overwhelmingly hot. That's what I think. But anyway, hello everyone. Right now in Fawnhollow, it's 3:37 p.m. on Friday, June 17, 2022. We must have a visitor staying at a campsite, so we'll promptly let's try and guess who it is. I think it's going to be, I can't think of a person. Egbert. Surprisingly difficult just to think of a random village off the top of your head. Well, it's not really surprisingly difficult, but it's trying to think of one which is like, ooh, this seems random enough. Oh yeah, I forgot we were buying things on the Nook mileage program. I thought our maximum mail slots was like 150 yesterday. I don't know what happened. Maybe I was in the incorrect what do you call it, inbox or something like that. Either way, I'm not really sure, but we can order more of these furniture. I was going to say food, not food. Furniture items later. We got this one like 3 times. It amuses me every time we see it. But yeah, I started recording the next series, which is going to be after Barbara's You. This one I've mentioned multiple times, so it's not going to be a guessing game like yesterday's one, which, by the way, I've not made any of the thumbnail arts yet. But this one is going to be probably a very simple thumbnail art. I'm not really sure. I still haven't decided how I'm going to do it, but it's Stephen's Sausage Roll, which is, not only is it a puzzle game that I've had my eye on for ages because I've heard a lot about it, it's also, oh, Francine, hello. But it's also one that I've been recommended so many times, I feel like. And by so many times, I mean, comparatively to how many people actually watch these videos in the end and actually leave game recommendations. I think I've had it recommended 2 or 3 times, which is quite surprising. As the sort of thing where it's like, oh, if you like puzzle games a lot, you have to play Stephen's Sausage Roll. There's so much I've heard about it, because I've heard it's like one of the best designed puzzle games of all time. Not necessarily the best puzzle game of all time. It's it's got a certain style, like ironic style. I think it's going for, and honestly, it does pretty well with it. I think it's got a lot of charm to it. But would I say it's particularly pleasing on the eyes? No, not really. I wouldn't be like, wow, this looks amazing, or like it's really like killing its style. I'd be like, it's got a style. It's not personally exactly to my taste, but hey ho. There you go. It's very funny, and But the first 2 episodes, I'll give you a little bit spoiler what happens. The first one, absolutely cruising. I just like rock the levels. It feeds my ego. I like to think I'm particularly good at puzzle games, and I do particularly well in them. So I did pretty well in the first whatever many levels. I don't really know in the first episode. And the second episode, I do a level, and then I do another level, and another level takes me like 20 minutes to figure it out. It certainly seems like one of those early levels, which is specifically meant to be like, this is a hard one. Because it's laid out in such a way where it's meant to be a very obvious bait. Well, at least I thought it was a very obvious bait. Because when I started doing it, I was like, there's no way this level is that simple. What is the catch? But I couldn't figure out what the catch was. And when I did it, when I fell right into the catch, and I was like, alright, that's the catch. And then I spent another 20 minutes basically trying to figure out what on earth, how to solve that level in the first place. And if you played Stephen's Sausage Roll, you can probably guess what level it is, I'd imagine. Well, maybe not, I don't really know. But anyway, I recorded a bit of that. The most amusing part for me, I think, was trying to figure out what the little tagline was for that. I introduce all my videos with. For Animal Crossing, it's let's see what's going on Fawnhollow today. For the other game which is coming up, it's and for this game, I spent a little bit of time, more time than usual, actually trying to figure out what it was, because a lot of them are quite straightforward. I go to the Steam store page, I see exactly what they talk about, and then I just improvise something from that. Sorry, I'm quite thirsty, having a sip of water. Yeah, I just improvise something from a short summary that they have, or description of they have of the game. Often the developers might even have a sort of tagline which I'll adapt. And it's all very easy, but with Stephen's Sausage Roll, due to its I'm not actually sure if it's meant, how to describe it apart from ironic marketing, because it's kind of like, oh okay, Crazy Red is this thing. It's not like it's retro, but it's very reminiscent of early 2000s sort of websites that people used to make on, I can't remember what any of those websites are honestly called. What's it, Angel Fire? Is that what website called? It's been so long, I completely forgot. Angel Fire wasn't the one that was preferred in our school, at least. We had a different one, I think, but I don't remember what it was. Angel Fire was a little bit before my time, which is a bit surprising in that regard. But it feels like it's those sort of like early 2000s sort of style, like this sort of like early generation game graphics as well, and like it's sort of very tongue-in-cheek in that sort of way, the way it describes itself. And if you go to the Steam store page of Steven Sausage Roll itself, the short little blurb it has underneath the banner talking about the game is it's like a simple puzzle game or something, and I was like, that's literally your entire description, which, you know, obviously is meant to be a joke in the first place. It's not like I don't believe whoever created it was just like, man, I can't think of anything to say about this game. But it is very funny because they even have a website which is, again, as I said, set up like the early sort of 2000s website sort of thing. I mean, you can go to the about page. The about page is very funny, I must say, but it does sort of pose a problem for me personally, where I'm just like, okay, well, now I need to sort of create like media properties from this. Like I need to create like a written description from this. I need to create like a tagline. I need to create a thumbnail art for this in the first place. What am I going to do? Because there's basically nothing sort of like prompting any of this. But on the other hand, it's also quite nice because it gives you a very open-ended sort of feel to this entire thing. In the first place, I must have accidentally said no. I'm not really sure. So yeah, Steven Sausage Roll, that's going to come out, I think second week of July. I think that's when that series starts. I don't quite record off the top of my head, to be perfectly honest, but it's somewhere in that vicinity. But the splash art, I suppose, for Steven Sausage Roll itself is going to be very, very simple, probably, if I've used the one that they've got on the thing. But I'm not sure if I'm going to use exactly that one. I'm probably going to improvise it a little bit. It's probably... I'm going to tell you now, it's probably just going to be D sitting like on a sausage with like that fork thing. I'm not really sure. So it probably won't be too dissimilar to Babra's You, I think, as a actual image. Let's order the furniture items we've got to get. So we're starting with a Plaza teacup ride. But yeah, what should we talk about? Like sausage rolls? That sort of thing? Like, amazing, it's called Steven Sausage Roll, but there's not actually any sausage rolls in it. It's just you're rolling sausages, which is why it's called sausage roll, I suppose. But yeah, as I said, there's no actual like sausage, like battered sausage rolls, but I've come to expect, or no, have sausage rolls in the first place, and I like sausage rolls, you know. So start with Plaza Teacup Ride. I know not everyone loves sausage rolls. I don't say I love them, but I do like them. They're very tasty. I used to have them actually quite often for lunch, especially back during school times, because in sixth form, as I said, we had like a mini sort of cafe bar thing in our sixth form, but also we could go to like the local shops or whatever to buy lunch, and either, no matter which one I went to, a lot of the times I'd buy a sausage roll. I'd either buy a pasta pot from the bar thing we had, or I'd buy a sausage roll, either from the bar place we had, or we'd go to the local shops, and there was a Greg's. If you don't know what Greg's is like a chain bakery. I'm not sure bakery. I guess it is. So okay, now starting with Gazebo tomorrow. I guess it is kind of like a bakery. It's a chain bakery sort of restaurant where basically you can go in, you can go and get all sorts of good things. It's very infamous, I suppose, throughout UK. Most people know Greg's, and Greg's sausage rolls, I think, are rather iconic, especially because they're quite cheap. They're like 90p or something for each one. At least back in the day. I don't know if they've gone up in price now due to inflation, etc., etc. But yeah, they're very nice, and sausage, they're very, very like sort of buttery, flaky. Sausage is good. My only complaint is that they're always piping hot in the middle, which is normally a good thing, but I don't tend to like eating piping hot food because it, you know, burns my tongue. No, don't move away, Amelia. You're not allowed to. What? You can't go. Amelia, you're going to stay here forever, along with everyone else in Fawnhollow. Yeah, the sausage rolls are very nice, but Greg's also has a lot of other things that you can buy. I know you can buy like sweet desserts, like yum yums. I think that's what they're called. I don't really know what yum yums are off the top of my head. I think there's some sort of like cream pastry. I don't really know. I think they're like a donut. The iced donut. Yes, that's right. They're like donuts, but they're like long. So they're like, I think they're made exactly out of the same things that donuts are made out of, just, you know, stretched out instead of, you know, poking a hole in the middle of them. I think you can actually get donuts in Greg's, I don't really remember, but I would only really go there for savoury sweets, not slightly savoury sweets. Functionality, work of a craftsman. I assume that's Apollo? I'm not really sure, but he seems someone who's very much on the straight and narrow. So I guess we'll run to his house first, just to see if this is his, and we can give it to him before we finish clearing up all the little excess flowers. Yeah, like, I mean, I haven't been to Greg's that many times, but, you know, every time I've gone, outside of like my schooling days, I tend to get something a little bit different. Like, they have this, there's one thing I had, they had like, instead of a pulled pork puff pastry, they had like a pulled chicken puff pastry, and you know what I think about chicken, I love chicken. I had it, that was delicious. They also had like a very common thing, is like a cheese and bacon puff, which is basically, I think it's just literally like a square of puff pastry. When they put like melted cheese and bacon in the middle and sort of like fold it over, like fold it into itself like a tortilla, a wrap or something like that, and then they cook it. I don't really know. I've never made it before, but actually our school cafeteria used to sell this very, very rarely. I think it used to be a breakfast food, but you know I never went to school to have breakfast because you know I just had breakfast at home. Just because that's how it worked out for me. But you know, obviously, other kids might have to have breakfast in school. I think I never had breakfast in school. I think we just had like porridge or what have you. There's no bows. It's amazing. We've been checking fairly frequently in Able Sisters, and we've never seen the orange and pink, the little hair bows, apart from this one red bow that we got in our inventory. Yeah, they used to sell the cheese and bacon puffs, and I used to buy them every single time they sold them, because I was in the canteen, because I was like, oh, these are delicious. Very, very greasy, and certainly very unhealthy, because, you know, it's literally just sort of bacon and cheese wrapped in a buttered puff pastry, which, not the healthiest thing in existence, but very tasty, nonetheless. I haven't had one for years, so I don't really recall. So it reminds me, because back in primary school we used to have this thing called a cheese slice, which is basically a sort of puff pastry just with cheese instead of a bacon part, and that used to be so rarely a thing that happened in the cafeteria. It'd literally be like once or twice each year. I think it would come into our primary school canteen, and I'd always have it, because I was like, this is the most delicious thing every single time. I love it. Oh, I have such like random memories back into like primary school cafeteria, but no, we're gonna talk about sausage rolls today. I think I've already talked about like cafeteria food or something in a previous episode. But sausage rolls, yeah, they're nice. I mean, you can like have all sorts of sausage rolls. And here's my hot take, which I'm not sure how many other people necessarily agree with. I think vegetarian sausage rolls are on par with regular sausage rolls. And you might be like, not necessarily. Vegetarian sausages are kind of like on par with regular sausages. I forgot, we probably should have read out what you were saying, Raymond. You might be like, what? Vegetarian sausages? No, yeah, legitimately, I actually think vegetarian sausages are very nice. They're actually quite delicious. And I don't have anything against a regular old pork sausage or whatever, you know. I do like the British pork sausages, I think, more than like Frankfurters and like certain German sausages. I have had like a currywurst, I think. I think that was quite delicious as well. Like that one time I had it while I was in Germany. I thought that was quite tasty. Sort of thing, I could definitely see myself, like, if I went to like sixth form in Germany, I'd be like, you know, instead of going down to the local like fish and chip shop or kebab shop or whatever and getting some food, sometimes I'd be like, oh, maybe I fancy myself like a bratwurst, a currywurst, I think it was actually. There's actually another interesting story about that, but you know, I'll talk about that another time. Sausage rolls, yeah. I don't know. Sometimes I think even vegetarian sausage rolls might be better than regular sausage rolls as well. I'm just saying. Like, the big sausage rolls you get, you know, you get the big ones and you get the mini ones. The mini ones are kind of like meh, is what I say. But they're nice to have like a sort of bite-sized food, especially when you're having like a picnic, you're having like a mini party, you get together and you just want some like small finger food. Perfect. Small sausage rolls, nothing better. I mean, you can't like give someone like a whole massive like maybe not foot long, like that 20 centimeter long sausage roll. It's gonna fill you up, you know. It's like giving someone like 4 sandwiches, I suppose, at like a tea party. It's like, why would you do that? That's just excessive. You know, you got to sort of space it out, but you can't just eat like half a sausage roll and just sort of leave it. I guess you could, but you know, you'll be a social pariah. Yeah, sorry, I got a little bit off topic, but from vegetarian sausages, I actually think vegetarian sausages are very nice. And especially a thing that, like, you know, an English breakfast, would be quite a common thing to have. And like in my university cafeteria, they used to serve brunch, I suppose, where basically you can just, you know, have like breakfast food at lunch, obviously, you know, things that just a regular old sort of like English breakfast, builder's breakfast, whatever you want to call it. You know, bacon, baked beans, toast, sausages, eggs, hash browns, other good things, tomatoes, etc., etc. But one thing that they had, which was a vegetarian sausage, and I always wondered if it was a little bit strange, you know, going up to the the servers for me to be like, yo, can I get a vegetarian sausage and a regular sausage? Because obviously a vegetarian sausage, you know, you're kind of meant to, they're kind of strongly meant to be there for if you're vegetarian or if you can't eat whatever pork for whatever reason. For whatever reason you want a sausage, not for whatever reason, for whatever reason maybe you can't have a meat sausage, but you know you would like sausage anyway. You have a vegetarian sausage. I just always thought they were very tasty because even in primary school I thought they were quite tasty as well. They used to sell these like corn sausages sometimes, and I used to have them despite the fact I wasn't vegetarian. Because honestly, at that time I was quite young. I didn't know what corn was. I didn't know it was not me, but I didn't really care. I didn't really realise that this was for, you know, vegetarians or whatever. So they'd have like a small selection of vegetarian sausages on the side. I'd be like, can I have a vegetarian sausage? And, you know, even if I wasn't vegetarian, the Dylan ladies, they'd be very nice. They'd be like, yeah, sure, why not? Because often I assume they cook it in excess. Because, you know, sometimes the vegetarians, they come along and they don't want the vegetarian sausage, probably. Which is fair enough. So I used to have a vegetarian sausage, and I always thought they were really delicious. I actually quite like the taste of corn. Corn with a Q, that is. I don't even know what it is. I think it's some sort of like fungus. I feel like I've spoken about this before in an Animal Crossing episode. I don't know why. I'm just getting a strong sense of deja vu. As I sip a bit more water. Yeah. So anyway, sausage rolls are really great. If you're ever in England and you want to get a good sausage roll, go to Greggs. I mean, you could probably get better ones at other places, but Greggs is solid. You know, you can't go wrong with Greggs. Is what I say. And Greggs are kind of like ubiquitous. You see them literally everywhere. Like even like the smallest towns I've been to. Okay, not really the smallest towns I've been to, but so Greggs still manages to pop up around small towns and small like little villages. Even ones with very small populations. You just be like, what? Was it Greggs here? Yes, there is. I mean, there's also another quite popular chain sort of bakery place in the UK called Wendell's, but I've never actually been to a Wendell's. I've kind of assumed they do sausage rolls as well, but again, as I said, I've never been there, so I don't know. Excuse me. Yeah, I've never been there, so you know, I have literally no clue if they do sausage rolls or not. But if they do sausage rolls, yeah, no, get one from each of the big bakery chains and see which ones are best. Because it's not only from like the bakery chains you can get them. You can also buy like just like what are they called? Like multi-packs, that's what they're called. I was like, what's it called when you put multiple things together in one pack? Oh yeah, multi-pack. You can get like multi-packs, of course, or sausage rolls, and just like your usual like supermarkets, like Tesco's, etc., Sainsbury's, Asda. Well, it seems so. It's been a while, but I don't know, those aren't as good as the freshly baked ones that you get from like Greggs / I think it's called Wendell's. They're not as good as those ones, which, you know, fresh, hot off the presses, whatever, you know, cooked that morning probably, or at least, if not cooked that morning, then maybe at least, like, reheated this morning. It just tastes nice, you know? And I can't fault it for tasting nice. I don't know why I would fault it for tasting nice in the first place, but, yeah, I don't know. I mean, sausage rolls are literally just sort of like batter, well, not batter, because now I think about it, battered sausages are a thing, which I'm not too fond of battered sausages, the things that you sort of get from fish and chip shop. Like, I think a fish and chip, like, obviously, puff pastry I think is better than fish and chip shop batter. IMO. Maybe that's a hot take, maybe that's not a hot take, I don't really know. We're going to go in here from Crazy Red and we're going to buy the furniture items. You might be like, why are you buying them? They're overpriced. Apparently, I can't remember where I read it, but these are, like, the colours that Red sells are the ones which have different customizations than the one which you can actually buy from your own Nooks. And you might be like, why aren't you buying any of the artworks? If you don't know, I've already completed my art museum. So that's fine. No, my museum is completed, which is why exactly I'm not buying them from other areas. But yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. Sausage rolls. I don't know, I have a friend, he really likes sausage rolls, he would always get them. And like, I feel like it's quite common within at least my own friend circle that we'd get sausage rolls. You know, especially during like secondary school. Why in particular sausage rolls? I don't know, sausage rolls are just kind of tasty. And I think it lands a good medium of being both tasty, you know, it's reasonably filling as well. Well, at least I find. I always used to, no, actually, to be fair, when I was much younger, towards the start of sixth form, I used to always have 2. But then I was like, this is too much. So then I only had 1. And then I was like, sometimes that's too little. So if I was a little bit hungry, I'd get 1. And then I'd get like a millionaire shortbread or a brownie or something from the little like bar cafe thing we had. You might be like, millionaire shortbread? That's quite a sweet thing. And I'm surprised that's your favourite Sweet treat to hand, dear darling. And, you know, you're right to be surprised. It's one of those few confectionery items I actually quite like is Millionaire Shortbread. Brownies are fine. Tiffin is meh, I'd say. Millionaire Shortbread, fantastic. Rocky Road, it's alright. Rice Crispy, is what I'd say. Anything with marshmallows in I find quite meh, I'll be honest. But Millionaire Shortbread's quite nice because, I don't know, I guess I kind of like caramel and it's got chocolate with it, but it's not overwhelmingly chocolatey. But shortbread does enough to balance it out. So I used to have that along with my sausage roll. But yeah, and they're also insanely cheap. Like, you know, sometimes we go to the cafeteria and you purchase some food. Like, I used to purchase these things called pizza wraps, which is basically just like tortilla wraps with like tomato and cheese inside them. Must have been incredibly unhealthy, I must say. But I used to buy 3 of those all together, and then just like a drink. Or maybe no drink, I might just add water, I honestly can't recall. And that would be like £3. Or, you know, I could just go to Greg's, get a sausage roll, 90p, bam. Lunchtime done. 90p meal. So cheap. Amazing. Wouldn't you say? Anyway. Yeah, I don't know if they're more expensive now. Should we look it up? Should we see if Greg's sausage rolls are now more expensive? I don't know if they've got an online menu or anything like that. Greg's. Greg's.co.uk. Menu items. Vegan sausage roll. I don't even know if I had a vegan one. Oh my, they actually have so many things. Look at this. Bacon breakfast rolls. But they have so many different rolls. Bacon and cheese wrap. Fantastic. I don't know you can get hash browns from Greg's, I'm going to be honest. I guess that makes sense. They seem to very much do breakfast food. And a lot of these are like, I think they feel very quintessentially British when you sort of just look at them and you're not from Britain. You sort of just be like, this is literally just like 2 sausages stuck in what looks like a Subway, you know, like Subway sort of sandwich squirted with ketchup. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of just what rolls are, I suppose. But they're not the most elegant thing in the world, but they are tasty because, you know, the food by themselves are tasty. When you put them bread around them, bread also pretty tasty. You know, it's good balance. Croissants, sausage omelette. I must say though, I've never had any of these other things from Greg's. I've seen them on sale apart from bacon and cheese wrap. But you know, we got sausage roll. How much do these cost now? Chicken bake's also pretty good. I think I've had them once before. I don't. It must have been something that they were trying because I feel like it was a new thing. Where when I walked into Greg's and I got a pulled chicken sandwich, pulled chicken pastry. I was like, I've never even heard of pulled chicken before, which is meant to obviously be like pulled pork, but you know, again, apparently our pockets are full. I guess we've probably got to sell some things. It's obviously a sort of thing where you just wait. No, hold on. What was I saying? I don't know what was obvious, but you know, scratch that. But I was like, I feel like it was a new thing because I've literally never seen this before. I've literally never seen it again. It's not even listed here as a menu item. So I wonder if it was like a thing they were trying out in just that chain, and maybe that's why I got it. Maybe it's because I read it and I was like, huh, I've never seen that before. Is this a thing? Pulled chicken. Is that a thing, right? Yeah. Pulled chicken pastry. Greg's. Is it a thing? A chicken bake? No, I maybe have chicken bake, but it was called a pulled chicken thing. Because I remember talking to the cashier, just being like, I've literally never seen this before. And actually, maybe I feel like she said it was new, which is maybe why it sort of like pushed me to get it. I honestly don't know. I might just be making this up. Maybe this was sort of a big fever dream I had. I feel like it sounds familiar to me. Maybe it's called chicken bacon. I literally don't know. Anyway, sausage roll. It's so unhealthy. One sausage roll, can you believe it, contains 60% of your recommended daily intake of saturates. 60%? No, that's 100 grams. Oh, but a sausage roll is 100 grams. I don't, yeah, obviously, like, any sort of pastry battered thing is insanely unhealthy. So yeah, just sort of, like, bear that in mind. I mean, it is literally, like, butter, loads of butter, oil, and meat. It'd be quite hard pressed, I think, for it to be particularly healthy straight off a bat, but, you know, straight off the bat doesn't really make sense. But pizza's apparently in Greg's as well. I didn't realise this. Drinks and snacks. Literally never got a drink from Greg's. They have sandwiches as well. I know, Greg's has a lot more things than I thought. Oh, here we go. Yum Yums have a twisted in things. I was thinking one of a Claire. What's wrong with me when I was picturing Yum Yums? I would say, I've never actually bought Yum Yums. The only times I tried them was sometimes my friends would buy them. They'd buy like a 6-pack or 4-pack because, you know, they're just like, oh, I don't want to eat actually 4 or 6 of them. Do you want like one or half of one? I was like, sure, I guess. You know? My friends are very nice and that sort of thing. You know, they want food. They'll buy a bit. They'll buy a multi-pack probably, and then, you know, or just sort of give them out, whatever. I mean, it's just kind of like what you do. You know, your circle of friends, isn't it? You know, you get food and you give them out to each other. At least that's what we do in our circle of friends. Maybe we're the weird ones. Yeah, but that's the only, like, let me go show you that. I would never probably buy like a sweet treat. As I said before, I don't really have much in the way of a sweet tooth. Millionaire shortbread was just sort of like a, I don't want to eat another sausage roll, but you know, I want to have a small something. And honestly, a lot of the times I did purchase it and I was like, I shouldn't have bought this, you know. Not because it's bad or anything, I was like, it's too sweet. It's too much for me. You can get gingerbread men. You can get novelty cupcakes. Caramel shortbread. Which is millionaire shortbread. Well, actually, I don't really know. Because I believe millionaire shortbread's meant to have like lots of other stuff in it, which makes it like feel rich or whatever. Hot food. You can get chicken bites and Greg's. What on earth? Chicken goujons. Surprising. A toasty. All very nice things. Yeah, anyway, I tend to favour the savoury. Wait. I tend to favour the savoury. I was like, there's a good rhyme in there. That was not a good rhyme. I apologise. Where is another fossil? I must have run past like a different fossil like every single time. I'm just looking for another fossil so we can go to Blathers and actually get it, not redeemed, but you know, like, evaluated. But I can't seem to find another one. Which is surprising. Unless we have 3. No, we got 2. They're all gyroids. Is that how it works? Is that how it works when it rains? It turns fossils into gyroids? I don't actually know. Oh, they're all over here. I forgot. These have been here for ages. Apparently Greg's do delivery now, which is wild. I feel very strange for just like, you know, purchasing a Greg's, like, just a singular sausage roll and they'd have to like deliver it to me. But maybe that's just me. So you chop wood, cut down tree. Okay, we can certainly do that. We need to do basically the axe missions every time there's an axe mission because we need to eventually break enough axes to unlock the golden axe recipe. Because I think that's the last recipe for the golden tools, which we've not unlocked. The others we have unlocked, but we just don't use them. I'm gonna be honest. There's no point in using golden tools. Look, forever criticizing this game, I suppose. But one thing that certainly should have been the case is golden tools should have had infinite durability in this game. Is what I'm saying. It's hard enough to get them, but the fact they even break, even if it's 4 times the durability, it's just like, I'd rather just not think about it. Or if I'm gonna think about it, if I had to think about it anyway, I might as well just think about it with like the cheaper ones to build, rather than using golden tools. At least the golden fishing rod, golden net definitely should have had, and golden slingshot all definitely should have had infinite durability. I guess a golden shovel could have, as well. I don't even know how you get a golden shovel, I'm going to be honest. Do we even have a golden shovel recipe? I'm not sure. Oh, we might be missing 2 of them, I'm not really sure. I think the only one I've ever crafted is a golden watering can because you kind of need it for golden roses and you literally don't need the others for anything. But I suppose one benefit of this way is that, you know, we get to actually use a much prettier designs. It'd be nice if you could fuse the designs together. Of like the star net, or like a golden net or something to give it increased durability. But anyway, it's at least nice that when you re-customize them at all, its durability gets reset. Anyway, it's getting quite warm. Sausage rolls. What else can I say about sausage rolls? They're incredibly unhealthy, so we actually literally can't donate anything anymore to museum. It's not even an option because there's nothing left to donate. I wonder if a museum will get an expansion in the future. What am I kidding? Animal Crossing's not getting an expansion in the future. If only. One can dream that New Horizons will get more content updates, but of course, a dream is just a dream that the heart makes. That's not lyrics. A dream is just a wish a heart makes. That sounds right. I want to see how much the stuff actually costs. I just want to see how much a sausage roll costs. I just want to see if it's more expensive now than it used to be. Savouries and bakes. Sausage roll. It just doesn't have a price. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to go download the Greg's sausage roll. Not sausage roll. The Greg's app just to find out. That's very interesting, you know, because the Greg's website is also laid out in such like a sort of like an e-commerce website. Like you scroll down, there's more products you may also like. So like I'm ordering a sausage roll and being like, oh, you know what, I also fancy all this. A vegan sausage, bean and cheese melt. With a Z for the cheese for some reason. Very particular, very peculiar, I'll say. Hello, Audie. What you got to say to us? Okay, so I didn't think this is something that I wanted to do in this last like half an hour, but I suppose we'll do this very quickly. We'll run over to Raymond and we'll deliver this to him. Run around of this episode, and I'll probably, you know, have a cool drink to try and cool down. It's so hot right now. Ooh, so hot right now. I believe Raymond was in his house, I think. He was indeed. Understandably, it is raining outside, so most people aren't outside. Delivery. Hold on, okay. Enter postcode. Okay, change my postcode. No? I just want to find Greg's. Hotspot and Fawnhollow. You got that right, Raymond. Okay, wait. I'm gonna find a Greg's. The nearest Greg's to me, and just put that postcode in. What's this postcode? More details. Come on. Uela postcode. Google Maps, you are failing me. Try it on and find out. I don't even know what you're doing. Okay, well, I'm just wasting time now for no. Honestly, suits you quite well, although you do look like you work in a Home Depot or something. I don't know why I said Home Depot. It's an American chain, which I've never been to. I don't even know if their uniforms are red. Meme shirt? Raymond, you shouldn't have. I didn't expect you to be a memer. Okay, get out of it, Greg's. Okay, I guess we'll never know if the sausage rolls are more expensive or not now until next time I actually go to a Greg's. But for now, we're going to round off this episode here. I think I talked about sausage rolls, I don't really know. But anyway, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Any likes, comments, subscription, shares, I greatly appreciated. Join me, Dear Darling, Discord, follow me on Twitter down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.